Welcome to Flashpoint Friday, a weekly series where I select one game at random from Flashpoint's archives and give it a try. And maybe, just maybe, the game might actually be good. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flashpoint Friday. And this week we have a game called Button Clicker 2 by Polis Programming and hosted by Congregant. And I'm pretty sure I know what game this is, judging by the title, and you, dear viewer, probably know as well. Let's head into it. And yes, this is exactly what I thought it was. It is a clicker game. But I'll explain for those who may not be familiar with the concept. So with a clicker game, as its name implies, all you have to do is click. Yes, that's all you have to do. Just click with your mouse, usually on a designated object, like in this case, this button right here. And each time you click, you accumulate clicks or points or whatever the game frames the scoring system as. And you can in turn use those to purchase upgrades. For instance, I can click this mini auto clicker, and for the cost of 10 clicks, it is now automatically accumulating clicks for me at the rate of 0.2 clicks per second. And every time you can typically, like in the case of this game, purchase these multiple times, but every time you do, the cost goes up a little bit. It was 10 clicks and now it's 15, but it adds another 0.2 per second added. So I'm now accumulating it at 0.4 clicks per second instead. And it looks like this left-hand column, you're upgrading these auto clickers. So I'll just click a number of times here to get it up to 100. And it says adds mini clicker or mini auto clicker CS by what? By what game? It doesn't say. Well, I guess I'll give it a try. So I'm now accumulating at 0.6 clicks per second. So I think this upgrades the okay, yeah, it did. So it's upgraded the mini auto clicker by 0.1 clicks per second. Because now it's saying it adds 0.3 clicks per second rather than 0.2. And if I buy that, we get it back up to 20 at least. Yes, okay. So that's how it works. So you can buy these auto clickers and you can upgrade the auto clickers. And judging by the scroll bars here, I mean, it's not super long. I've seen a lot of clicker games that have a lot more extensive upgrades than this, but it definitely incentivizes playing this for a long time to get to the clicks needed to purchase these. And that's kind of the central premise for these clicker games. And I'll be perfectly honest, I personally am not a fan at all of clicker games. And this game, I'm afraid, is not doing anything to sell me on the premise. And the reasons for that are for the following. First off, this particular game, it's not very compelling with its presentation. I've seen plenty of other clicker games out there that like try to frame it in a certain way. Like I've seen clicker games where the backdrop is like it's a fantasy RPG, and as you progress with clicks, your player character progresses further in the fantasy kingdom and goes through dungeons and such. Or in the case of probably the most well-known clicker game out there, Cookie Clicker, it's all about accumulating cookies, and upgrades are all cookie themed. Like you can purchase grannies to bake more cookies for you, or you can purchase factories to produce cookies for you faster. And that game actually has kind of a dark satirical undertone too, where eventually you start producing so many cookies that you end up like drowning the world and eventually the universe in like this cookie singularity and such. But this game doesn't seem to have any of that to it. It's just clicks. That's all it is. But my issues with clicker games, though, go further than that. The primary reason is just the gameplay. It's not engaging at all for me. Because first off, like I mentioned before, all you're doing is clicking. There's no special timing, there's no obstacles to avoid, there's typically no fail state, nothing like that. It's just mindless clicking. And my other big issue with it is that once you get a couple of auto clickers going like this, like right now, I'm not pressing anything. I'm just sitting back and I'm just letting the game essentially play itself. I don't have to do anything. And I could conceivably let this run in the background for as long as I want and accumulate a crazy high click score. But what's the point? Who are you trying to impress with this? Anyone can do this. It's just mindless from top to bottom. And that's why I don't care for clicker games in general. So that's Button Clicker 2, and by now it should probably come as no surprise that I'm not impressed by this title. This is definitely not my cup of tea. And honestly, I don't know if I would even recommend it to fans of clicker games, because like I was mentioning before, there are, I feel, plenty of other clicker games where even though the gameplay premise is the same mindless clicking, they at least gussy it up with some maybe more engaging graphics and visuals and sound. And this game has none of that. Because of that, you're really not missing much regardless of whether or not you actually like clicker games. In any case, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Flashpoint Friday, and take care, everyone.